Hey, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Coffee Shop Chatter. I'm Mr. Controversy. So before we get started, as always, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like the video just so it can get pushed out into the algorithm, and as always, comment at the end. So the young lady, some of you probably been around when you had the young lady that accused the Duke Lacrosse players of raping her. Well, she has come forward to, I guess, make herself feel better about herself for lying. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in this video and see what she had to say.
All right, to a Fox News alert. The accuser at the center of the infamous 2006 Duke Lacrosse rape case just admitted to making the whole story up.
Chanley Painter is here with the details. Hey, Chanley.
Hey, good morning. That's right. It was a huge national story back in 2006 when Crystal Mangum falsely accused 3 Duke Lacrosse players of raping her while she was performing as a stripper at a team party in March of that year. And now, more than 18 years later, she is finally admitting that she lied about it all, saying this, quote, "I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. I made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and from God." The 46-year-old also apologized to the 3 Duke players who were all found innocent of the crimes and later sued the university after their case was dismissed in 2007, reaching an undisclosed settlement. And the prosecutor on the case, Mike Nafon, was later disbarred for lying in court and withholding DNA evidence, which ultimately absolved the young men. And at the time, Magnum was not prosecuted for perjury due to questions about her mental health. But she is currently behind bars serving time after a jury convicted her of second-degree murder in the stabbing death of her boyfriend in 2013. And even now, with her admission, Mangum says, Mangum could not be charged, with perjury because of the statute of limitations, of course, in the state of North Carolina. Guys, back to you.
That's right. We knew she wasn't. We knew she was lying. She got caught lying, but we haven't had her admission. But you pointed out something about her background.
Yeah, I think Chanley just mentioned it. She's serving prison. She's in prison for murdering her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right, so she's not.
She is, and Chanley mentioned that she cannot be held liable in North Carolina because of the statute of limitations. It's only 2 years. Chanley also mentioned the DA. Remember Nifong? He was on the news all the time. And shortly after the players were charged, he said, there is no doubt about this being a sexual assault that it took place. And he said it was racially motivated. And then when he was disbarred because he withheld DNA evidence that would have helped the players, but that never came out.
People have a right to come forward with their allegations, and I think we should litigate them in court. But there has to be a severe penalty when people go out there and just make up stuff, lie, and destroy people's lives. You know, I think about the lady, what was she, 80-something? The lady that falsely accused Emmett Till of them. She was 80-something, and she finally admitted that she was lying. And people were like, she shouldn't stand trial for that. Absolutely. I don't care what age you are. When you finally reach your conscience of wanting to tell the truth about a situation, you should be prosecuted. There should be severe penalty. These guys are never going to have their lives back. The damage has been done.
And reframe Emmett Till. He was killed by he was killed by.
He was lynched. He was 14 years old. Was falsely accused by a woman. And later on in her life, I think she just died like a year ago. She was in her 80s. She finally came forward and said it was not true. Oh so. There's consequences. Now, I'm not saying this is the same in his way because no one was lynched, but their lives were destroyed as well. So there has to be consequences for that. If it's true, let it be litigated in court. I just hope this is a cautionary tale for the media. Don't just run with allegations.
You just reminded me, too. You know what did happen? The coach got fired.
Yes.
Immediately. And he ended up going to another school in Rhode Island, Bryant, and revitalizing that program. But he was considered one of the lead coaches. John Danowski, a fantastic coach, went down there with his son, and they restored the program. But essentially, he gets fired. They find out it's all a lie. Those kids, young, graduate. They can't get jobs. And now they don't want this on their resume. They're hoping their name's not picked up. But this is
This is good news for them.
That's why, I mean, not to make this about God, but the 10 Commandments, he tells us not to do these things to prevent us from hurting ourselves and hurting other people. Says not to lie, not to cheat. There are consequences for these actions.
And you know what she did? At the same time as she admitted that she made up the story, which destroyed their lives, she is asking those 3 young men to forgive her.
She is asking for
Well, yeah, we can forgive, but not forget.
But the captain of the team is actually from my town. And I remember the whole family was like, we will never talk about it. But
all right,
So this is what I think. This whole statute of limitation stuff, all that needs to go out the window. Because what if those 3 young men went to jail for 10 years? Served those 10 years, or were still in prison, and then she decides to tell the truth. They get let out. They'll get let out. Their record will be expunged. It'll be sealed. It's still gonna be there because it just doesn't go away. And she'll walk free. Person walk free. This is why I don't believe in that. You should always believe the victim. I've seen this. I've seen this shit happen so many times, even in the military, where females have lied on guys. They go through the whole court martial, be found innocent because the person lied, but guess what? It's still on their records. That shit, it doesn't go away. It's still there. Even though you're found innocent, it's still there. It just gets sealed in your restricted file, but it's there. And some people still have access with certain people can still go into your restricted file. So she pretty much ruined the lives of those 3 young men. They sued the school. I'm pretty sure they got a couple $1 million for it. The coach got fired because right off the bat, the college ran with it. And that is the biggest problem with people in this country. A lot of people, especially these news channels. They get some information, they run out there with it, they accuse the person. People will talk trash about them. And then as soon as they find out it's like he didn't do it, everybody goes silent. There's no apology. You have content creators do the same thing. They don't go back and retract and say, hey, I messed up. I fell for it. She or he got me with the okie doke. Nope, they just go silent. Leave the content up, won't even take it down. And you have news channels that do the same thing. Bash people, talk about how they should be prosecuted, how they should go to jail, how they should never see the light of day. Then when the person admits that they did wrong, they'll admit, they'll come out and say, yep, here's this update. Yeah, the person admitted that this didn't happen. And then sweep that shit up underneath the rug. I think what should happen is when people are found to have that they lied, that's why I don't think there should be no statute of limitations. You still should be able to prosecute that person. And I think the person who lied should get the same time or get the time that that person who did not commit the crime would have gotten. If I was supposed to get 10 years because you accused me of something and now you ruined my reputation, done lost my job, people looking at me a different way, yeah, you should get those 10 years. You eat that damn time. But hey, I like to know what people think about this. That's why I hated that big Me Too movement because everybody, women just started coming out, oh, he did this, he did that. And there was just a lot of, some of the stuff was true, but there was a lot of just disgruntled women. Plain and simple, they was disgruntled because they didn't get their way in the workplace or whatever. So once people say you should always believe the victim, hey, the system has been used as a weapon for women to use against men because you rarely ever see a man talking about some Me Too. Men will just eat it. Why? Because when they do it, it's like, oh man, you soft. Oh, I wish that was me. That's just a men's mentality. We'll just eat it. We won't say anything. So, hey, YouTube family, like I say, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. Do you think this woman still should get some time? She still should be charged. A 2 years. Hey, that's all I got. I'm out of here.